My dear students, now I am going to explain you about human digestive system. Human digestive system consisting of two parts, alimentary canal and digestive glands. So alimentary canal is a tubular structure where food is allowed to pass through it. While food is passing through alimentary canal, food is digested in a different manner. And digestive glands. Digestive glands are the parts which secrete some secretions like juices, digestive juices which contains enzymes which helps in the digestion. So they are arranged in the canal in the two manner. If the digestive glands are internally arranged within the wall of alimentary canal, internally digestive glands we call as internal digestive glands. So example, gastric glands, intestinal glands, which are arranged within the wall of alimentary canal. And some other digestive glands are there, they are outside of the canal, they are present outside of the canal and opens into canal and secrete their secretions, juices and enzymes, etc. Let us start with the alimentary canal, how it is made up of. So alimentary canal anatomy. So alimentary canal anteriorly opens out with a opening known as mouth. So mouth is the anterior opening of alimentary canal which helps in the ingestion of food. Food is taken through the mouth. So this is the mouth. So mouth opens into a cavity known as oral cavity. The second part of alimentary canal is oral cavity. Mouth opens into oral cavity or buccal cavity, where the oral cavity consists of three parts. Salivary glands, just I told you, the canal is associated with glands. So salivary glands are associated with the oral cavity, and these are the externally arranged digestive glands opens into oral cavity. There are three types of salivary glands can be seen in humans. So one is parotid salivary glands, the salivary glands which are near to ear and opens into oral cavity. Now we are seeing this parotid salivary glands which are located exactly here. So opens into oral cavity. Then sublingual, tongue below. The salivary glands which are located below the tongue and opens into oral cavity known as sublingual. And submaxillary, the salivary glands which are lower jaw, which are present downside of the lower jaw known as submaxillary, which opens into oral cavity. And these three secrete the secretion known as saliva. Saliva contains some enzymes. Later we discuss in the digestion regarding saliva and its enzymes. Then coming to tongue. As we know, tongue is a sensory organ which helps to detect the taste of the food, and of course it helps in the mixing the food while food is chewing in the oral cavity. Then the third part is teeth. As humans are omnivorous, we have different types of teeth in our body. So the teeth to support to eat vegetative parts and of course the non-veg like flesh. So we have four types of teeth. So incisors are the first type of teeth which are helps in the cutting teeth we call as. And the second one, canines, which are helping in the tearing. And premolars and molars helps in the grinding the food. So these four types of teeth present in the humans, as human dentition is known as polyphyodont. Polyphyodont is a phenomena, is a terminology we use when an organism contains different type of teeth, structurally and functionally. As our teeth are fixed in the socket of the jaw, then this type of dentition is known as thecodont dentition. Thecodont dentition, if this is the jaw, there is a socket so that the teeth is fixed in this. So such type of dentition is known as thecodont dentition. And we have two types of teeth, two sets of teeth actually. So the first set of teeth, if we lose, the next set of teeth replace the lost teeth. Such a type of the phenomena is known as diphyodont. Diphyodont is a concept in which the organism contains two sets of teeth. If the first set is lost by the organism, the permanent teeth is replaced in that teeth. So, as human dentition comes under three concepts. So, one is thecodont dentition, teeth is fixed in the jaw, and the second one polyphyodont dentition, as we have many types of teeth, and diphyodont, as we have two sets of teeth. Then coming to the pharynx. Pharynx is a common chamber of respiratory and digestive tract. So respiratory tract travels or start from the nasal cavity, nasal openings, nostrils, nasal cavities and oral cavity unite and enters into a chamber known as pharynx. So pharynx has three regions: nasopharynx, which is associated to nasal cavities; oropharynx associated to oral cavity; laryngopharynx associated to larynx. So regarding pharynx, what we can say, it is a common chamber of digestive and respiratory tracts. Then esophagus. Esophagus is a food pipe which allows the chewed food, masticated food from the oral cavity and pumps into the stomach. As esophagus lacks digestive glands, so that no digestion occurs in the esophagus. Only its role is pumping the chewed food into the stomach. Next, stomach. Stomach is a muscular and glandular sac-like structure where glands are located internally, gastric glands, and muscular structure which help in the propulsion and retropulsion of the food. Food is moved up and down within the stomach for 3 to 4 hours for make a partial digestion, to make food into chyme. So stomach has three regions. The region towards heart, this upper region is known as cardiac stomach, and the middle part, this part is known as funding stomach, and the lower part which opens into duodenum is known as pyloric region of stomach. Cardiac, fundic and pyloric, three regions of stomach helps in the partial digestion of food by the gastric juice and the HCl. So next, small intestine. Stomach opens into a large part of the alimentary canal known as small intestine, which has three parts again: duodenum, the anterior part of small intestine known as duodenum, where a U-shaped duct or U-shaped tube which connects us, which arises from the pyloric stomach, duodenum. Then the jejunum, the middle part of the highly coiled part, jejunum is the middle part of small intestine, and the posterior part or terminal part of small intestine is known as ileum. So these three together they call small intestine, where maximum absorption of digestive substances like glucose, amino acids are absorption, maximum absorption will take place here. Of course, the wall of small intestine contains intestinal glands. They secrete mucus as well as succus entericus. We learn later. Then coming to the large intestine, small intestine opens into another part of alimentary canal known as large intestine, which has three regions. The anterior part, the starting part of large intestine known as cecum, the cecum which connects with ileum, and the middle part of this large intestine known as colon. Colon has ascending colon, transverse colon, and descending colon. So, which accommodate the digested food, whose main role is storing the which are undigested food we call as, and absorption of water and salts will take place in the colon. And the terminal part of large intestine known as rectum. Here we can see the rectum opens into outside with the aperture known as anus. Anus is the outer opening, posterior opening of alimentary canal. So this is the anatomy of alimentary canal. And let us see the digestive glands. I told you the glands which are arranged within the canal. The wall of alimentary canal contains the glands internally. Example, gastric glands, which are located in the wall of stomach. Gastric glands, which secrete the gastric juice. And intestinal glands are two types: Brunner glands and Christoph-Lieberkühn. They are located in the small intestine. Wall of small intestine contains several Brunner glands and Christoph-Lieberkühn. Brunner glands secrete the mucus. Christoph-Lieberkühn secrete the succus entericus or intestinal juice. And finally, externally arranged. Salivary glands are, as I told you, three pairs of salivary glands opens into oral cavity, and there is a largest gland in our body. Liver opens into duodenum, and one more, pancreas opens into duodenum. These three glands are externally arranged digestive glands. This is regarding anatomy of digestive system of human beings.